It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.
Good morning. How's everyone doing? Welcome to VIP Story Trading, VIP Pre-Market Prep. It's May 1st. We've been off for a holiday for about 8 days or so. And I'm back here. We decided to make this a free preview for those of you following us on X. So we got a special show today because I'm sharing the morning institutional note with you guys. In fact, let me see if I can drag that in to the screen over here, and we'll get started with it right away. Actually, here we go. Share screen, and it's right over there. There we go. All right, so special show today. All right, we're gonna do a full walkthrough through this morning note as quickly as I can. We try to end this in 15 minutes, but we'll see. So we're making a change today. If you're a VIP member, you know that we occasionally share this morning note with you, and it includes a suggested allocation table, which we'll get to. And what we hope to do, I have one institutional client on this, and we're trying to figure out how to share this with the larger community. So I'm actually working with that institutional client to see if we can open up a Discord community so you guys can get access to this every single day instead of just like twice a month, which is basically what we've been doing. So we'll see. Hopefully I have an update for you on that. And if you're interested in a trading community on Discord, let us know. Respond in the if you're watching on X, let us know your thoughts on that. All right. But one change we're making on this morning note today, big change. All right. Our suggested allocation table, we're just going to stick with common shares. We're trying to do swing options for a while, but it was just too hard to communicate with that. The risk management of that, like when to cut, what the allocation should be. It's just so dynamic. It was too difficult. If you want to trade options, that's on you. On your own, you could do it. I think there's great opportunities in our actionable ideas, in our like top picks of the day. Definitely great opportunities to trade options. I'll be still doing it myself, but to communicate that with you guys was just way too hard. So this is a suggested model portfolio. My retirement account largely mimics this suggested allocations. Largely mimics it, not exactly. Well, maybe I'll make some changes to exactly match it, but let's go back up here and just do a quick macro review, and then we'll get back into the note, okay? So I've been gone for a couple weeks. We're deep into earnings season, and we've had a note here that it looks like these earnings reports are not really good enough to sustain like vertical up, right? There's a couple warning signs with revenue misses. Even Amazon, which BDPS had their revenue guidance was light. Starbucks revenue guidance light, down 13%. Even SMCI, which beat on EPS, revenue guidance light, down 10%. One of the things that was able to keep the market going up in the last couple of years with high inflation is the ability for large companies to pass on those high costs to consumers and also cut expenses, lay people off. That resulted in higher EPS by those mega cap companies were able to do so, even though we're in this inflationary environment. But there may be a limit to that. We may be seeing the consumer now pinch for cash, saying, I'm spending less money at Starbucks. I'm spending less money at Amazon. Okay, Amazon's up 3.3% because of the margins increase. Their cloud business is doing well. But on the retail side, we're seeing signs of danger with the consumer, again, both from the Amazon and Starbucks. So I'd be careful here. We have FOMC at 2 p.m., Jerome Powell speaking at 2:30 p.m. And if you look at the charts, let's switch to the dailies over here. You're going to be able to see that we're getting rejected at the 20 DMA on IWM, QQQ, and SPY. All three of them rejected at the 20 DMA. RSI starting to point downwards. I think there's a risk there to the proximal lows here, a QQQ 413 on all these indices. And who knows, man, if the shit hits the fan, can we go to the next major moving average? Not on SPY. That's way too low. But QQQ, the 200-day moving average, a possibility. IWM, the 200-day moving average, a possibility. The two next major market movers will be Powell at 2:30 p.m. today, and then Apple earnings tomorrow after the close. Now, I'm not very optimistic on Apple earnings. Now, let's shift into individual stocks. As you know, I've been very bearish Tesla since the last earnings report, and we're right to be bearish all the way down. Now, I have not gotten back in. I missed this pop here, and honestly, I still don't believe in it because I don't think the fundamentals are there. How did I switch from Apple to Tesla? Because both of these, it's because of weak China demand. Both Apple and Tesla, amidst an effort by China to push consumers to Chinese domestic brands. That's one of the big things that hurt Tesla and one of the big things that's been hurting Apple. So, I'm not going to be betting on Apple earnings because it could be really, really bad because of what's going on in China. Now, Tesla had this big pop here. I don't believe it because I think that the thing that we need to resolve is demand for new vehicles. This big pop, the gap that you saw Monday, was because of FSD approved in China or imminently to be approved with that partnership with Baidu. And is that going to spark demand in China nonetheless, where we're having this issue I've been talking about? So I'm still not a Tesla bull here. I've been bearish for over a quarter, and I continue to be bearish. I think there's a risk here we move to that 50 DMA, and I'm not sure we're going to hold that 50 DMA, in my opinion. I just think there's so much other better stuff to be in. So that's Tesla. And Apple, again, Apple is tomorrow. Let me just see if I have it in the ER list. I didn't put it in the ER list. So let's add that now. There it is. So Apple, well, it's in the list, but not at the top. So this way we'll throw it back at the top. All right. So again, market movers are going to be FOMC 2 p.m. today, presser at 2:30 p.m. with Jerome Powell. Apple earnings tomorrow after the close. I'm not playing Apple. Okay. And be cautious. I showed you the charts on QQQ SPY. We could go those proximal lows potentially, especially if Jerome Powell is hawkish. So no one knows if he's going to be hawkish or dovish. I don't like the data. I don't see how he can be dovish with the inflation data. So I'd be careful if you're trading. Make sure you have enough cash. Maybe if you're long, make sure you have a hedge. Okay. Now my long-term account, I'm fully invested. I don't care because it's long-term. All right. So we'll get back to that institutional morning note in just a second. Actually, let's scan it. Let's just scan it for now. Let's get back to that, and I'll go back into the charts. All right. So how do I make this bigger? All right. Okay. So what else do we got here? So I went through the macro with you. I just explained all that with you, right? Oh, okay. We also have uranium ban. We'll look at the charts in a second. Senate passes Russia import uranium ban. This is very important. In our VIP chat, I put an analysis in here as well from, who's it from? Let's check. Who's that? Zoom in. Why can't I zoom into this? Is my app slow? I don't know what's going on. Okay. Can't zoom into that? Because it's a nugget. Let me just see. Let's see. All right. You know what? I'm going to add this again to our app. It's a nugget. Maybe you can't zoom in. So I'm going to add this again as an image. And then I should be able to zoom in. Okay. So I added an analysis from an analyst here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where are we? Even on my photos, I'm having trouble zooming in. There we go. Okay, it's Canaccord. All right, Canaccord Genuity. Basically saying the same thing I said in the morning note. And I saw this. Actually, I put my note on uranium over here, before I saw the Canaccord note. So basically, we're both looking for a bullish action here. I saw some analysts saying we can see a 20% increase in uranium price. Here's my uranium list right over here. There we go. That's our uranium list, UEC, CCJ, URNM. I'm in uranium, URNM. That's the one I'm in the ETF. Okay, I might take some trades on this today. I think this news is good enough. Now, this is why we've kind of switched from a options suggestion portfolio to common shares. Let me explain this right here. Okay, so I was already in uranium, URNM, with a nice allocation. What do we have here? So I have a 15% allocation for uranium, gold, and energy, right? Now, I may increase uranium right here because I strongly believe that this is not going to be the end of it. URNM is 52.25, and I think you buy the good catalyst. I think, a 20% increase in the price of uranium can take URNM to $60. So at $58.96 now. But if you buy options at the open, that's hard. That's a hard game, man. All right. Common shares, not hard. I'm happy to average up. And wait a couple months, wait a couple weeks, maybe even wait a few days. But even if you're right after a few days, try that with options. If you buy the gap in the open, you get the wrong contract. I mean, it's not liquid. It's very difficult trading options. So that's on you. All right. I'm not going to guide you on trading options. I might do it myself. I might, and I probably will, maybe with CCJ. All right. But I'm not going to guide you on it. Instead, I'm going to tell you, if you don't already have 15% allocation to uranium, gold, and energy, go ahead and do that. And maybe a little extra if you want to trade because of this catalyst. Now, an important thing about this catalyst here is that there's speculation that Russia may ban themselves after United States. So this passed by the Senate. Congress already passed it. Biden expected to sign it into law. Now there's waivers in there, right? There's waivers, and this doesn't take, waivers for like many years. So the United States might say, oh, like, we'll let you import it from, if you need it, from Russia. But Russia may come back and retaliate and say, no, you know what? We're not going to export it to you. So if that happens, you see an instant 20% increase in the price of uranium. So to me, that warrants buying the gap up in common shares, adding, especially if you added lower. Like, I've held uranium for a couple years, so I have a lower cost basis. I don't mind averaging up on this news. I think we're heading there, right? I think URNM is headed to $55, $60, and you can go ahead and do your analysis on your favorite. CCJ is the most liquid one. 20 DMA, you see there, 48.64. We're at 47.72. But uranium, definitely in play. All right, how do we get to that? Geopolitical stuff. Okay, also, MSOS, cannabis. All right, yesterday, Routers comes out late in the day, says a DEA is imminently going to take the next action to reschedule cannabis. I think some entity has to approve whatever they suggest, but that's a foregone conclusion at this time. There's other legislative action that is pending, like safe banking acts and stuff like that. But at this point, I think it's pretty clear. I've been talking about this all year. Let me pull up the MSOS chart. Okay, I've been talking about this all year, that MSOS, for political reasons, call me cynical, but I think with Trump doing very well in the polls, I think the Biden administration or supporters of his within the government are saying we need to get the youth vote back. There's a youth vote is going the wrong way for them. A lot of support for Trump. So if we legalize cannabis before the election, we can get a bunch of that youth vote. I think that's what this is all about. Okay. Now, for a long time, for institutional note, we've been saying once cannabis is rescheduled, you can see a move to 1460. I'm going to stick with that. That's my target, that high over there. Well, 1350, probably better. 1350 to 1375, probably better target. Okay. So we're at 11. I don't think it's too late. Especially from a common share perspective, try this with options, and you got to come up with your own system of risk management, when to enter. Do you buy in the open? Do you wait for a dip? That's all on you. All right. But common share position, I don't think it's too late. I may be adding more MSOS today to my already existing position. And if you look in our suggested allocation table, you'll actually see we have cannabis there. 5% is what I had for cannabis here on MSOS. Okay. I love this allocation table, man. Let's just go through this. Let's take a little detour. We got artificial intelligence. GLP-1 is a whole sector. Forget biotech. Just call that GLP-1, 20% each. I love this, man. A couple other biotechs, TMDX. We'll talk about their earnings this morning. And we talk these commodities, especially good in stagflation. This is the stagflation play. All right, gold, uranium, and Bitcoin. We don't need to talk about that. All right. Well, we will talk about the technicals in a second. We got some growth stocks in there that we love. Snap recently had great news. All right. Now let's go back up. Let's see what we got. So geopolitical. Let's talk about Bitcoin. We did uranium, MSOS. I probably won't have time to get to everything. So let's just talk about Bitcoin now. All right. Let's pull out again. Go to Bitcoin. And let's see what we have. So in my note this morning, I said we broke key support of 59,273. Uh-oh. All right. You can see the uh-oh there. Pretty plain to see. Pretty plain to see where the downside possibility is. Right around here. 50. The range is 50 to 53,000. All right. That's basically the 200 DMA rising to meet up with this resistance level right there in February. That's your support level, 50 to 53,000. There's a little bit of support right here. Right here. For those of you who want to take a chance on that, this is 57,229 and 57,660. All right. So right there, if we lose 57,229, then I think we're heading to that 50 to 53,000 range on Bitcoin. Still bullish long term, but this is how Bitcoin is. All right. It has its ups and its downs, and you got to watch those technicals. All right. Let's see. Where are we going to skip to next? So we covered uranium, MSOS. So we got to talk TMDX earnings. Man, I love this company. I've talked about it before. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about it. In fact, I forgot what the catalyst is. I think it was a buyout. Yes. In fact, it was this day, if I'm not mistaken, on April 22nd. No, it wasn't April 22nd. It was down here. We caught the real bottom. Our April 3rd show. Yes, it was the April 3rd show. Jeez. I only bought $1,000. I just didn't have money. Now I got a bigger position now, but at the time. So the April 3rd show, because there was a buyout in the medical device space, and we like that 200 DMA balance. We like the sympathy play for possible buyouts, like we have VKTX and CYTK for possible buyouts. So we added that to that tranche of stocks that could be bought out, and their earnings are spectacular. Let me see. 35 cents a share in adjusted EBITDA, I think it was, versus a loss, meaning estimates were for like a nickel loss, and they did 35 cents. Man, that's great. And revenue beat by 15%, and they guided revenue up 7.6% for the year. And guess what? There's a big short position in TMDX. Let's take a look at this. TMDX, short position, 7 days to cover. Beautiful. All right. So TMDX is right there, okay, in our table. All right. Now, with this catalyst today, it could be a great trading stock. See, actionable idea is one of them. Ensure adequate exposure to TMDX and VKTX. We didn't talk about VKTX yet. So this could also end up being a great day trade, a great 2 or 3 day trade. All right. But I'm not going to guide you on that. Just too volatile, too crazy. And I don't have time to guide you all day long on that. Now, if we open up a Discord community, that might be different, right? We may have traders in the community who are tasked with that to help you with those intraday lines and where to buy and where to sell intraday. All right, so that's something we might do with other helpers in our Discord community if we open it. But TMDX, actionable idea, great earnings. I already liked it before. I already owned it. Now I added more up here. I don't mind adding higher on good news, especially in this common stock model portfolio. You don't have to worry about timing. All right. I think TMDX probably headed to $150 plus, maybe by the end of the year. So buying it at 108, no problem. Okay. All right, what else do we got here? Key recent catalysts, SMCI. Did we talk about SMCI? We did briefly talk about how the revenue missed, which is going to put a little bit of a damper on NVIDIA, although NVIDIA we love. I don't have SMCI in here for a long-term portfolio. A little too speculative at this point. We played it from like, I don't know, 250 to 600, something like that. But we missed that big move over 1,000, and we're not in it now. Instead, our AI stocks I prefer to play with are I don't say play. I prefer to hold for the long term on the AI theme is NVIDIA, Google, Amazon, Micron, TSM, and Microsoft. All right. So that's how we're playing that. But because SMCI light on revenue, it could put the damper a little bit on NVIDIA. And I'm going to show that to you on the chart right now. Oops. Yeah. Okay. So NVIDIA, okay, there's that key inflection point at the 20 and the 50 with it, which are meeting each other at 852. We're right there right now. Man, one of the positive things, this is why I still like NVIDIA for the long term, but very difficult to trade right here because it's at a key level. Is it going to hold that or not? With FOMC today, I got no idea. But long term, it's great. Why? We have positive commentary from both Amazon and Meta. Meta last week, Amazon yesterday, saying CapEx for AI will increase second half of the year. That's really, really bullish for NVIDIA. All right, NVIDIA is a leader in the space, so we have that there, as I said, as the top pick. Allocation table right there for AI. You see it, artificial intelligence, NVIDIA. So great news coming out of Amazon on Meta on AI CapEx. So we like it for the long term. What it'll do in the next few days, sitting at the 20 DMA, I got no idea. All right. If you want to try bouncing out, it's crazy. I'm not doing that. All right. I might recommend for short-term trades, like, yeah, try TMDX today, try MSOS, Uranium, NVIDIA. I don't know. Got no idea. All right, VKTX. Oh, man, so much to cover. Lilly had great earnings. This is a GLP-1 space. I own it. It's in our model portfolio. I own VKTX. I don't own an NVO now. I gotta see if I can get that. NVO has earnings actually Thursday morning. You can see that. So maybe I want to buy some NVO to make sure I have exposure. And I'm a little bit light. I don't think I'm at 20%. Actually, I'm probably at like 10%. So, or 12, I don't know. But in any case, so we got NVO, Novo Nordisk earnings coming up. We like it recently because of the news coming out of shortages of the Eli Lilly product. But Novo Nordisk, they don't have a shortage. I think it's Ozempic from Novo Nordisk that is not in shortage. The FDA note coming out on that a couple weeks ago. This space is just incredible. I mean, so many disease states of treating. Look at this. I gotta do this with you. Let's take a look at Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly market cap yesterday. Okay, up 6%, up $44. Let's do it this way. $44. Oh my gosh, 950 million shares outstanding. So we're talking about a $40 billion increase in market cap value because their revenue beat by I think by $2 billion. Huge, right? So one earnings report, one beat from a GLP drug, and it causes Lilly stock to go up four to five times the entire market cap value of VKTX. And a lot of people think VKTX has a superior product. So when that gets approved, right? Forget about approved. This increases the value. If potential acquirers looking at, let's say Pfizer's looking at this, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Lilly went up $50 billion in one quarter on this, and we don't have a GLP-1. I mean, how much is VKTX worth to you? Is it worth just 9 billion where the market cap is now, or is it worth something more like 15 billion, 18 billion, 20 billion? That's what I think. All right, so I got VKTX. It's my largest biotech position. And by the way, we were talking about the technical breakout on this last week, the bounce off the 50. And it wasn't just the technicals. Remember, we are story traders here. We anticipated the break above the 20 DMA because of the positive news that was coming out of the GLP-1 space. I forgot exactly which catalyst it was a couple weeks ago. I think it was something about another indication for GLP-1s, or it was something about the FDA coming out with I think it was about the demand. I think the demand is so high that, right, Lilly has shortages. Anyway, it was some catalyst there. We combined it with this. It was scraping along that 50 DMA, that red line, as you can see there. And we're like, time to get in. So I'm in some call options right now that I've had since last week. So now we're up above the 20 DMA, and it's going over $100. Just a matter of when. I think they'll be bought out for 120, 130, 140, maybe even more. All right. So VKTX looking good on the Lilly catalyst, on the Lilly beat. Same for Novo Nordisk. We had this last week on the technical breakout. Earnings again tomorrow morning, I think, on Novo Nordisk. So I might want to take a bet on Novo, although the call options, I think I was looking at them last night, pretty expensive. Maybe I'll just do common shares. We'll see on Novo Nordisk. All right, let's see if there's anything else to cover here. Oh, shoot, I wasn't showing you the chart. I was looking at it on my phone. I wasn't showing that to you. All right, last thing I want to cover is Snap. Well, eBay earnings, their last report was amazing, and their PE is really low. Okay, you know what? Let's just quickly look at the eBay chart. See if we see anything together on this eBay chart. Is it in my ER list yet? Oh, no, it's not in my ER list. What am I doing here? eBay, ER. It was on the ER list, but not at the top. We're going to push it to the top. Okay, ER. Here we go. eBay. Spectacular report last quarter. Forward PE 11. So I have a rule: when a company has a great report, I'm just going to assume the next one's great, right? The trend is your friend until you're proven wrong. And this chart looks beautiful. So eBay, Novo Nordisk, I think both of these can outperform with their earnings reports tomorrow morning or after the close today. One or the other. All right. But if you want to play me, doing the regular session today, here it is, after market close. So eBay's tonight. Novo Nordisk, I think, is tomorrow morning. Okay. All right. With that, the last thing I want to talk about is Snap. I don't own this yet, aside from just 4 little contracts. But Snap here, I think, was an inflection news. Inflection news. They beat for the first time in forever. So I think last week, before I went off on vacation, I was saying this can go to 20 plus by the end of the year. So 1790, that's the big resistance level we want to break. But there was another level. Let me see. Oh, 1577. It's in there somewhere. All right. I don't have time to go through it. But oh my God, it's 9:28 a.m. I got to go. Gosh, if you want to be part of our community, quickly go to storytrading.com/app, download our free app, and we'll see you over there. Gosh, I'm out of here. Take care, guys.
It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.